happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel and to another reading vlog. This isn't actually the reading vlog I was going to film this week. I was going to film another Raiding My Library's MM Romance collection, but a few books came out last week that I couldn't wait to get to. So I'm going to film a reading vlog for those instead. The book that I started it last night and I'm already in love with it. I think I'm only like 20% of the way through. I started reading Strings Attached by Riley Hart. This book wasn't even on my radar. Like, I didn't even know this book existed until I actually got an email from Amazon being like, hey, here's a new book from Riley Hart. Okay, I'm 30% of the way through and very excited to keep reading. So I'm going to keep this clip short because I want to get back to the book. But pretty much, I don't want to give anything away, but I'm going to tell you guys what hooked me for this book. And that is, you've got your main character, Xander, who is graduating college and he goes out to kind of celebrate and he sees this older guy and he's like, never been with an older guy before, but this guy is gorgeous. And so, you know, they have a good night together, they go back to his hotel, and the next morning, after they've both gone their own ways, Xander meets his best friend's dad who has come down for graduation. And it's the man that he slept with the night before. I love books like this. One, we have an age gap where if you watch my last video, you'll see it's a trope that I don't normally gravitate towards, but I'm loving it in this book. It is done so, so well. I'm obsessed. So there is a 17-year age gap between our two protagonists. The second thing, it's a best friend's dad romance. Like, best friend's brother, move out of the way. We have a new favorite trope coming through. Okay, well, it's not my favorite, but like, if anyone has any book recs of like best friend's dad, hit me up because I'm really loving this. All right, it's a few hours later now. It's almost 11 p.m. and I am 50% of the way through this book. Not too much has happened, but I just want to update you guys because I feel like this one is set up a little bit differently than most of the age gap romances that I've read recently. I feel like the climax of the story is always them revealing their relationship to someone that they were hiding it from. Whereas this one, I feel like is structured completely differently. So the characters get together in the beginning and then they realize that they know each other, but they don't keep it a secret because Harrison, who is our other main character, he is the older love interest. He has such a close relationship with his son that he wants to tell him. He doesn't want to hide it from him. But I love that the climax isn't the stereotypical, okay, we're together, now let's tell people about it. This book is called Strings Attached because these two main characters think, you know what, we're just going to go with it, we're going to be friends with benefits. Neither of us want anything serious because we're not structured that way. We don't want those things. We never have, we never will. Just from the blurb, you know that the climax is going to be them realizing that they want more, or one character realizing that they want more, and I'm very keen to get there. Okay, it's Tuesday evening. I'm 70% of the way through this book. I'm on chapter 21. I haven't read anything of this book since this morning, and I didn't even get to read much then because I didn't wake up early enough to read a whole lot before I had to go to work. And while I've had a very productive day, I have wanted nothing more than to come back to this book and finish it, which I think we're gonna do tonight. I'm ready to just settle down and do nothing but read this for the rest of the evening. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I just finished reading Strings Attached and honestly, I haven't even thought about what I'm gonna rate it yet, but it's definitely gonna be up there, at least a 4, probably a 4.5. I don't think it's going to be a 5 just because it's lacking that thing that pushes over to the edge for me. Over the edge. I need to go to bed. It's definitely more of a feel-good romance than I thought it was going to be as well. I wasn't expecting anything too heavy or too angsty, but this was just such a gradual story of two people thinking that they wanted a friends with benefits situation, something with no strings attached, and just slowly falling in love with each other without actually realizing it over the course of a few months. And it's so beautiful to read. It was so witty, so funny. I loved all of our characters and the relationship that Harrison and Xander have. They are honestly two of the sweetest characters and I want everything good in the world for them. Like, Harrison is such a good guy and Xander is such a sweetheart, and it was so heartbreaking at times to see how much he didn't think he was deserving of that kind of love. If anything, I feel like the only thing that I maybe would have liked, because there is an epilogue in this book, I won't go into detail because I don't want to spoil anything. There is an epilogue that takes place 5 years in the future after the conclusion of the final chapter, and that's kind of all you really get to see in the way of character development. Don't get me wrong, there's still development throughout the story itself, but I kind of wanted to see that progression. Like, I really wanted to see a stark difference between the beginning and the end of the book, and I feel like we didn't get that too much. I would have preferred it a little bit more. I really wanted to see Xander open up, and like, we were told about it, but we didn't exactly see it, and I wanted to see it. But anyway, this was still such a really good read. I'm very happy that I picked this up. The next book that I'm going to be reading, hang on, do I have it on here already? Here we go, is Roommate Arrangement by Saxon James. This is book 1 in her new series. I might start it tonight. I don't think I'm going to get very far though, because I think I'm going to fall asleep really soon. Okay, let's go through the description of this real quick. Our first character is Payne. In search of room to rent, must ignore the patheticness of a 40-year-old roommate, preferably dirt cheap as funds are tight, non-existent. There's nothing sadder than moving back to my hometown newly divorced, homeless, and lost for what my next move is. When my little brother's best friend offers me a place to stay in exchange for menial duties, I swallow my pride and jump at the offer. I need this. I also need Beau to wear a shirt and ditch the grey sweatpants, and not leave his door ajar when he's in compromising positions. Ooh, this is a brother's best friend. Cool. Oh, in search of roommate, must be non-smoker and non-douchebag. Room payment to be made in meal planning, repairs, and dumb jokes. Since my career took off, I barely have time to breathe, let alone keep my life in order. I'm naturally chaotic, make terrible decisions, and scare off potential dates with my weirdness. So when Payne gets back into town and needs somewhere to stay, I offer him my spare room with one condition. While he's staying with me, I need him to help me become dateable. And while he does that, I can focus on my other plan, ignoring that Payne is the only man I've ever wanted to date. Oh, this sounds really good. 288 pages, typical time to read, 5 hours and 45 minutes. Challenge accepted. Yeah, look, I'm probably gonna start this tonight. Oh, I just saw the prologue. Okay, this really isn't the greatest angle, but I wanted to update you guys quickly before I go to work, because I'm working a double shift today, and I don't really know when I'm going to be able to update you guys or read next, which is depressing. I didn't end up starting the roommate agreement last night because I knew that I'd probably be up for a few more hours if I were to start that, and I was already knackered, so I just went to bed and picked it up this morning. I got through the prologue and the first 2 chapters, and I'm definitely liking where it's heading so far. I'm very excited to keep going. Just want to point out, Kyle is a dick. I really hate him, and thank God he's probably not going to be in it for the rest of the book. But also, Beau is literally the sweetest character. He just gets all stuttery and flustered when Payne catches him off guard, like he doesn't know that he's going to be there. And the fact that when he finds out why Payne and his husband split, he's not even excited by the fact that Payne is now single, but so outraged on his behalf, and just, he cannot fathom how anyone would do that to Payne, because he's always seen what an amazing guy he is, and the fact that he's like, if he was my husband, he would always know how amazing he is. Like, are you trying to kill me? I don't even know if I've picked up the camera today. I don't think I have. I am very tired. I kind of worked an 11-hour day today. But anyway, I wanted to update you guys before I forgot. I ended up finishing Roommate Agreement this morning, and that's weird. I feel like the last time I updated you, I may have only been 2 chapters in, unless I updated you last night. I don't remember. But I really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna give it maybe a 4, 4.5. I really liked both of our characters. I liked that Payne, he kind of seemed to be portrayed as a bit of like a rough guy. Like, he was a bit scruffy. He had like full sleeves on his arms, across his like chest and back. But he was such a nice guy. I feel like even sometimes in books there's just a stigma that rough looking guys aren't always the sweetest, but Payne is a sweetheart, didn't deserve his cheating asshole of an ex. And then Beau is so quirky. I love his little eccentricities. There was only one scene that annoyed me a little bit. It was around the 60% mark. If you've read this book and felt the same, then you probably already know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was just a scene where I thought one of our characters was acting a little stupid, and I didn't like the way that they acted or what they did. I thought that it was just a bit petty. It was resolved really quickly, but in the short amount of time that it happened, I got really angry at what was happening, because I was like, why would you do that? I feel like it didn't really fit with their character. Everything else though, perfect. I loved every aspect of it. I was gonna say it isn't the steamiest book. There are definitely quite a few steamy scenes, but not until, I feel like it's not until it's a bit closer to the second half of the book, because there's really not a lot that happens in the first half, and then it kind of, once it starts, just doesn't really stop. But yes, Saxon James never really disappoints, so I was very happy with that one. I have already moved on to another one. I say already, I didn't start it until like 20 minutes ago. Two other books that I'm really excited about also came out this week while I've been filming this vlog. So the first one is The Best Men by Lauren Blakely and Serena Bowen, I'm pretty sure. So I'm currently reading the prequel to that, which is Super Hot Wingman. It's only 50 pages and I'm already like 20% of the way through. So I feel like that's gonna go really quickly, and then I'll probably start reading The Best Men tomorrow. The other book that I'm really excited about is Iris by Eden Finley. If you've read Eden Finley's Famous series, Iris is mentioned in those books. I think I might need to reread book 1 because I'm pretty sure that's the only one that he's mentioned in. I don't know those books as well as some of her others. I didn't realize that I wanted a book on Iris until she announced that she was going to be writing it, and then I was really keen. Like, I just love the fact that his name, Iris, stands for I require intense supervision, because I feel like he is going to be an absolute riot to read about. But anyway, I'm very keen for both of those books. I might not include both of them in this vlog. It depends how long it takes me to get through The Best Men. Okay, quick little update before I work out and get all sweaty and gross and then don't want to film. Friday afternoon, I just finished work and I finished reading Super Hot Wingman, I think last night. I thought the prequel little thing was going to be about different characters, like a really quick little short story before we headed into the main novel. I was wrong. The prequel, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like is kind of pointless. It's 50 pages of, I feel like, just rushing everything to give you a quick little backstory before you dive into the actual book, where everything is kind of covered anyway. Like, it's unnecessary detail that we don't need. Now, I have also started The Best Men, which is the actual book 1. I don't know how I feel about it yet. To be fair, when I started last night, I was absolutely knackered, and I feel like that could have something to do with it, but I really don't know. I didn't gel with either of the characters in the beginning. I felt like they just didn't feel real to me at all, and I know that, like, they're characters, but you get what I mean. They just felt really fake and really two-dimensional, and at times it didn't really seem like their point of views differed all that much. But now I think I'm maybe around the 15-20% mark. I should double check that. Okay, so I'm a bit further into this than I thought I was. I'm 37% of the way through the book, so I'm tipping it's probably around the 25-30% mark that I didn't mind the characters. And even then, I feel like that's not really something you want to be saying when you're going into a book. You want to be like, I love these characters, and I don't mind. They're growing on me, that is for sure, and we're also getting into the more intimate scenes now, and we're having fun with them, which is brilliant. I love it. But yeah, they are definitely taking a while to grow on me. I am taking a while to sink into this book. I don't know if it's because I've read 2 other really good books so far this vlog that this one's kind of falling a little flat. I'm really hoping it picks up soon because I really want to enjoy this book. I love Serena Bowen. I love Lauren Blakely. Like, put them together, I wanted this book to be fantastic, and so far it's just not really hitting that mark. I didn't think I had high expectations, but maybe I did. Okay, sorry if you can hear the sound of the fan, but I just finished reading The Best Men and I really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars just because I'm tipping it probably was because I was really tired that I didn't really sink into it for a while, but at the same time, I feel like I'm probably gonna have to reread the beginning of that book at some point just so that I can see whether I was just tired or if I actually didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I didn't. Either way, from that point onwards, when I started to enjoy it, I really enjoyed it, and I feel like it just picked up the pace and didn't really slow down. And as well, this book is one of those books that takes place over several months rather than a really quick, like, few days romance like I read sometimes. But this was also one of those ones where it actually felt like the novel took place over a few months, because we really got to see some character development here. We got to see feelings shifting and changing and characters changing. I loved it. I really loved our characters. Asher, while he did annoy me in the beginning, really grew on me in like the second half of that book, and Mark as well has just been such a sweetheart from the beginning, but I loved how he just completely grew into himself and Asher brought out the best side of him in this book. I'm obsessed. So yeah, all I'm gonna say with that, if you start reading this book and you kind of feeling the same things where you're like, this is a bit slow, I don't really know if I'm enjoying it, please push past it at least until maybe the 30% mark, and then just see how you go. Oh, I have so many books that I'm so excited to be delving into, and I really can't wait to share them with you guys. So I will probably be doing a few more reading vlogs over the next few weeks. Oh, wait a second. I completely forgot that I was going to share some exciting news at the end of this vlog. I was umming and ahhing as to whether or not I was actually going to share it in this video, but I think I am, because it's about time. Okay, I have been sitting on this news since about October, and I know that I haven't even alluded to like keeping a secret or anything, because I was like, I don't want to say it and then not be able to tell you guys what it's about, because I feel like that's kind of pointless. If you've watched my past couple of videos, you will notice that I said I was filming in front of my cupboard because the floor in front of my bookshelves was just chockers. It's full of stuff. I can't film in front of there at the moment. I really should have thought about how I was going to say this, and I'm making this into such a bigger deal than it really is, I think. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm opening my own online bookstore. This is going on the internet. People are gonna know now. This means I have to follow through. This has been an idea that I've had for such a long time, but it's always just seemed like a bit of a dream. I never thought I would actually go for it or give it a go. But, you know, uni just wasn't working out the way that I wanted it to, and I've just figured I'm gonna give it a crack. We don't have a whole heap of details yet. I don't want to reveal everything just yet because I'm still figuring out a lot of the behind the scenes things. I also don't really want to show you what that looks like because it is such a mess at the moment, but there are just boxes and piles of books everywhere. Once everything is set up, I will 100% be showing you guys everything because I'm so excited, and now that it's out there, I don't think I'll be able to keep it to myself. But a little bit of a rundown. I am opening an online bookstore. We're aiming to launch in February. I say we, I mean me. I am aiming to launch in February. A release date will be coming very shortly for that. And as for the books that I will be stocking, it will be very heavily romance based because that is what I read mainly. I'm assuming it's what you guys read a lot since you're watching my videos. I started reading romance, I think, early 2020 when Melbourne went into their first lockdown, and I haven't really come out of this hole. I'm quite happy down here. But getting sucked so deep into this hole, you quickly come to realize that there really isn't a lot of places that you can buy romances from. Amazon being the #1. Otherwise, you're buying direct from authors themselves, but there are quite a few authors that don't actually ship internationally simply because of shipping costs. My store is going to be called A Novel Addiction. It does have an Instagram. I will pop the name for it up here or the link down in the description or whatever. So if you want to keep up to date on everything, I would definitely recommend going down and giving that account a follow. Okay, so that's out in the world now. I'm going to wrap up this video now. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you find this news as exciting as I do. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it and hit subscribe down below if you'd like to see similar content, and I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye.